Hi everyone, and I'm Vinita, and in this video we'll be speaking about SSB. What is SSB? So actually I cleared my CDS examination in 2022 and I was selected for SSB interview. I had to perform my SSB interview at Allahabad and I got screened out, but I will be sharing you about the framework that I had in my mind for clearing the SSB, and I'll give you a rough idea about what all the things that are asked in SSB and how you can go about the preparation. So I think this will be a useful video for you people, and this, as I already said, this video will be fully in English, and if you feel this video could be helpful for someone, please do share and stay subscribed for any updates. And without any further delay, let's get into the video. So SSB stands for Staff Selection Board Interview. So after you're getting selected or after your results are out, you should start preparing for a SSB so that you will have an edge over things. So generally in SSB there are 5 stages. I classified it into 5 stages. So first stage is the screening, which will be happening in your first day of the interview. So this screening process itself is divided into 2. So first is OAR and the second one is PPDT. This OAR stands for Officers Intelligence Rating. This Officers Intelligence Rating is further divided into 2, that is verbal reasoning and non-verbal reasoning. When you have verbal reasoning, for verbal reasoning you will be having about 40 to 50 questions, and in non-verbal reasoning you will have 40 to 50 questions that are asked. So generally when I went for the Allahabad, I had 50 questions from verbal reasoning and 40 questions from non-verbal reasoning, and the allocated time for me was, for the verbal reasoning they gave me 35 minutes and for non-verbal reasoning they gave me 22 minutes to complete it. So in verbal reasoning, what are the topics that you should be aware of is the number sequence, serial of numbers, number quiz, interchanging sequence, problem on ranks, direction sense test, shorter taller problems, alphabet related problems, odd one out problems, analogy, coding and decoding, identification of letters, series completion, letter series, blood relations. So these are the topics you are supposed to cover in verbal reasoning. And in non-verbal reasoning, you are supposed to cover figure analogy, figure matrix, choosing similar figure, series, choosing odd figure, classification, grouping of identical figures, finding part of incomplete figure, spotting the embedded figure, mirror image and water image, paper cutting, visualizing a pattern, putting pieces together, problem on dice and problem on cube. So these are the general things, and you will have 40 to 50 questions in each section, and this will be entirely not so tough. It will be easy if you start preparing. Do solve them at least 30 minutes a day so that you will get a hold over these questions, and these are not very hard. If you know the topics, you can just scroll it through the YouTube. You have so much of videos in that, but they are also in Hindi. So I'll try to make videos on these if possible so that it will be helpful to you. So the next series after this, so perception description test. So here you are not supposed to write descriptions on what is in the image. For example, there is a woman, there is a hall, there is a ball, there is a snake. You're not supposed to write that. Then what are you supposed to describe are the qualities or the actions that are portrayed in the picture, or the actions that is possible in the picture. So that is what you're supposed to write here, and you're supposed to see the picture and write a story of your own. Actually, you will be given a time to write the story. You will be given 1 minute to fill in the details like your SSB chest number, your batch number, other details, and 4 minutes to write the story. After 4 minutes, they'll collect your paper and you're supposed to individually narrate your story. After your individual narration, they will split you into different batches, and in the batch you're supposed to go for a group discussion. And after the group discussions, they will ask you to nominate a person, and that nominated person will say a common story after the group discussion. So in the Allahabad, since we had a lot of members, we didn't have a common story. We have been done with group discussion. So I want you to understand that your story narration part is very important. Don't give up on that. Please practice on it well, because the OAR test is generally easy. So your selection or not depends on PPDT in my perception. So after it, I have written the important points that you are supposed to remember in PPDT. For example, the characters, their age, gender, mood, and always have the past, present and future in your story, the three phases, and the story is supposed to be positive, and if possible inculcate the values in it. So these are the things that I thought myself to remember in a story that I'm going to write. After the PPDT, the first process is over. This is what happens in the first day, and they will tell you whether you're selected or not after this. And in Allahabad, I had almost like 132 to 140 members present, and almost like 20 to 25 members were screened in. These 20 to 25 members will be going to the next test, that is the psychology test. And in psychology test, you have 4 portions: TAT, VAT, SRD, SRT and STT. So TAT stands for Thematic Appreciation Test. This is similar to your PPDT only, but you will be given 11 pictures and a blank picture. For the blank picture, you can write your own story, but for the 11 pictures, you are supposed to write the story. And the description, always remember the description of the main character in the story will reflect who you are. The story's main character is what you are or yourself itself. The psychologist analyzes like this. So make the main character very positive and have good values for him. And there will be separate stories you will write for 11 pictures, and you will be given 30 seconds to see the picture and 4 minutes to write, similarly to what happened in PPDT. And next comes VAT. VAT stands for Word Association Test, and for Word Association Test, for each word you are supposed to write a sentence, and for every sentence you will be given 15 seconds to see the sentence and write it. There will be about 45 to 60 words that are being displayed, and you are supposed to write it. And you can use that particular word in any form. For example, if they give the word as agree, you can write it as agreed, agreement, etc. In any form you can use that particular verb. And the next one is SRT, Situation Reaction Test. They have said that they will be giving you 60 situations and the time will be 30 minutes, but people have said that it differs from institute to institute or center to center. So 60 situations, and similar to the situation given, you are supposed to write what you will react. For example, suddenly you're walking and there is an accident that happens nearby, and you're supposed to go to school for examination, and they'll give a blank. So you're supposed to write what you will do in 2 to 3 sentences, maximum 3 sentences, and you have to make sure that you not only react a reaction but write full reaction, that is, you don't stop the reaction. For example, at the place, help the injured person with a first aid and call the ambulance, and then report to the school and write the examination successfully. So you are supposed to complete the action. You are not supposed to write an incomplete action. You not only have to write an action but an complete action. And in SDT, self description test, you will be given 5 scenarios or more than that, where you're supposed to write how your parents think about yourself, how your friends think about yourself, how your brother thinks about yourself. So different kind of people's opinion on you, you're supposed to write. This is all about the psychology test, which will have 4 tests. And then comes the group task. In group task, you have general discussion or group discussion, and it will be based mainly on a social issue or current affairs, and 20 minutes discussion. There will be 2 GDs taking place on 2 different topics. After that, you have something called as group planning exercise, where a map will be shown to you and you're supposed to plan based on the situation given. And the third one is the progressive group task, and in the progressive group task, you will be having 4 tasks, and you have to complete 4 tasks in 45 minutes, and there are certain rules that you should do to complete this progressive group task. I'll be covering it in upcoming videos. And then is the snake race. This is a group task where you are supposed to carry a thing like a snake, and you are supposed to climb up through the obstacles along with your group members. And there is half group task, where your whole group is split into made to do the action again. So these are the group tasks. And when it comes to individual tasks, there will be 10 obstacles which are given to you, and 3 minutes is given for you. And these 10 obstacles will have things like long jump, going for an high jump, rope swing, etc. will be there in individual task. And then you have in individual task a lecturate, where they will be giving you 3 topics, and you can choose any one of them and speak for 3 minutes. And it is advisable that you choose a better high level topic so that you will expose yourself as a very learned person. And the third one is the command task with 2 subordinates, where you will be a commander giving instructions for the subordinates to do the task that has been assigned. And the last one is the final group task, which is the progressive group task done again, but you're supposed to do it within a limited time frame because you already know the task. And the last comes the personal interview. And remember, before going to the personal interview, you will be supposed to fill a form called as PIQ, similar to detailed application form, which will be given in other examinations. Here you have something called as PIQ, and please take a copy of it and learn or make questions from them and prepare yourself for the interview, because the interviewer will be having that and will be asking questions from you. You can also watch mock interviews from the YouTube. So the general things that is done in SSB for 5 days, and at the end of the 5 day you will be having a conference where you will be asked about your experience and different kind of things. And after the conference they will be announcing whether you get selected or not. So this is the final procedure. After that you will be having your medicals, and after your medicals you will be getting some time for the merit list to come, and if your name is in merit list you will be selected, obviously. So I think this is the general framework for SSB, and I think I have covered what I can do. If you have any further doubts or you don't understand any part or still you have any queries, you can still post it in the comment sections or in the Telegram group which is available, SSB for freshers. I could help you in that. Thank you, and always be courageous and be kind. Always know that your hardest day will be your biggest possibility, and keep fighting, brave soldiers. Thank you.